And welcome to the official launch of the Fox EVO here in South Africa. The Fox EVO is a 10 kilowatt hour, a 10 kilowatt hybrid inverter with a 10 kilowatt battery, and it is so incredibly beautiful, which means that your wife is going to let you install this anywhere in your home so that you are going to be able to show it off to your friends. But it's not only beautiful, it is incredibly powerful. It supports a staggering 20 kilowatt peak in backup mode for 10 seconds, which means that no matter what your grandmother is doing in the garden cottage, no matter what your kids are doing in the bedroom, or no matter what your wife is doing in the kitchen, your inverter, because it is basically almost double the power of the grid, is very unlikely to ever overload again, which means that you will never miss one of those critical kicks in a rugby match ever again. But not only is it powerful, it's incredibly fast to install. The unit comes with these super cool handles in the box, which you screw on the side, which means yourself and two of your friends can easily whop it up onto the board, and bada bing, bada boom, bada bang, your system is currently installed. So if we have a look at it here to actually install it, everything that we need is in the box. We have our inverter here and our 10 kilowatt hour battery here with all of our connectivity right here on the side of the inverter, exactly where we want it. So if you just imagine our cables coming through here, everything connects to our MPPTs, the Wi-Fi, the LAN, our grid and backup and communication to a CT directly here in the box. So we're just going to roll a video and show you how you guys are going to be able to save a truckload of time and do this out in the market. So not only is it so fast to install that you guys are going to be able to do so many more installations in a single day, which means that you're going to be able to help and support so many more companies and help a lot more people, but potentially you guys are going to be able to make a lot more money at the same time. The unit, not only being fast, is also fully IP65 rated. It comes in this incredibly strong case that we'll refer to in a minute, but what we've been finding is that developers are very excited because of the IP rating that basically you can install this, or developers have been very excited to install this directly on the wall outside the house, behind the distribution board, underneath the eaves, to save valuable space in people's garages. So it's not only very fast to install, but it also comes in one piece of die-cast aluminium. It is the most large and voluminous, it's basically the single largest piece of die-cast aluminium enclosure in the world. It is so incredibly strong that when I hit it here, it makes my knuckles want to break. And what we're going to be doing over the next couple of weeks is we're going to head out to a shooting range and shoot it to see how strong it's going to be. So that's basically going to be our homemade test. Keep a lookout for that to see if it's going to withstand our wives driving into them in our garage. So let's just take a roll through and see how Fox has actually made this incredible piece of it.
Our journey starts with a solid aluminum brick, which is melted into liquid under high temperatures and poured into precision molds. After cooling and demolding, it forms the world's largest one-piece cast enclosure.
Well, not only fast to install, but incredibly, as I keep saying, powerful. The Fox EVO supports 20 kilowatts peak of solar power on 3 MPPTs. You can see them here clearly marked, MPPT1, MPPT2, and MPPT3, which means that you can now install solar on your client's east roof, their west roof, or their north roof, or if they have a complicated roof with lots of various issues, you have incredible flexibility now from Fox to maximize your client's installations. The MPPTs are 20 amps, so that means you can use current solar panels, and should you not populate all of the MPPTs on the first day out, you can now use next generation solar panels, so maximum growth available on the MPPTs available from Fox. The system basically also comes with a 10 kilowatt hour battery. The battery is 95% usable. This is thanks to the next generation in large-scale cylindrical lithium-ion cells. These have been borrowed from the automotive industry, and they come with a number of key advantages. The first is they do much higher rates of charge and discharge, and we can see that by the peak power that we can now draw out of the system with 20 kilowatt peak for 10 seconds. They also offer much greater heat dissipation, and that basically leads us into the next point, that we get increased cycle life and increased longevity through this new type of battery. So incredible stuff from Fox. Super excited about this battery. So really, really amazing stuff here all around. So if we have a look at the battery, you can see it's now housed, and I keep going on about it, in this whopping, let me hit it with this rather, my hand is getting sore, this whopping case, which now provides us a huge amount of increased protection for our clients. Risks are very, very slight when it comes to lithium-ion batteries, but what Fox have done is done an engineering marvel to provide us maximum protection. Firstly, the batteries come with certification at the highest level you can find anywhere in the world, from the IEC, Bureau Veritas, and TUV, and other labs around the world. The first level, the second level of protection is the actual physical case itself. This is for both impact and to avoid, when we have thermal runaways, the explosion that can happen through batteries. So the case is basically fitted with a anti-explosion valve. So should pressure build up in the case, it's going to release that pressure to avoid a catastrophic explosion. And should a fire then still happen to erupt after all of these safety features have not basically been successful, each Fox EVO comes with a built-in fire extinguisher. This fire extinguisher, when it detects flame, will basically ignite and put your fire out in as little as 3 seconds and avoid reignition. So we can rest easy that we have some of the safest batteries that we can find today, enclosed in the toughest case that we can find on the planet. Well, we're not only talking about, what we're talking about is not only beauty, and it's not only powerful, but it's a very, very rare combination. It's also smart. And while we're talking about smart, if you're hearing any roof here, I'm in Cape Town and it's the middle of winter, and the gods of thunder have just released their certification that they're in tune with us by throwing huge amounts of roof on the water. If the noise cancelling is working, then fantastic for technology. So in our smart inverters, the first thing they come with is mode scheduler. So many of you may have noticed that with Eskom's increases, they've sort of publicly said that we have a 13 or 14 or 12% increase this year. But actually, when you have a look at direct Eskom customers, we've now had a 34% increase in power. So Eskom have used their wheel of misfortune of their time of use tables and connection fees and other related fees to drive prices higher for electricity this year by a third. And I'm very grateful to Fox for including mode scheduler. Now that ships standard with every single Fox inverter that enables you to safely navigate the wheel of fortune and not use power during peak demand periods where electricity is up to 7 times more expensive. So it's incredibly simple through the app. It's made like for children. You just go plus, 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 set your charge time, basically from 12 in the evening, say to 5 in the morning. Then your discharge time, you do forced discharge and self-use during peak periods to avoid those high tariff charges. So savings on time of use tariffs far exceed savings basically on kilowatt hours only. And if a customer is saving basically around 80,000 Rand a month on electricity charges, they're going to save 120 or 140 or 180,000 in addition by avoiding these nasty peak load charges. The second part of this is, as we're in a country with use it or lose it power, we now have smart load triggering within the Fox EVO range of inverters. In the inverter, there is on the comms port here, there are 2 relays that you can use. The relays basically allow us to trigger the dry contacts allow us to trigger a relay, and by triggering a relay, we can trigger your geyser or your pool pump or your borehole pump or whatever appliance that you want to run at a specific time. In the coming months, this is also going to be added with the function of SOC load triggering. So basically when my battery gets to 60%, trigger said load. So incredibly flexible stuff that's going to maximize our clients' energy savings in the coming years. This is also now combined with dynamic EV charging. What we have with Fox is each inverter basically comes EV ready. It's designed to support EV, and you can see over here to the side we have a new EV charger. They come in pink and purple for Cherie, they come in blue for you tough guys out there, and they come in black for those people who want to blend into the background. But these features now offer basically direct EV charging. As soon as you plug it in, it's going to work. You can now, by putting in a second meter for your EV charger, do solar charging only, which is really the dream for all EV owners. You can do solar and or battery, or schedule solar and or battery and grid, or schedule your charging on a time base. So incredibly compact, incredibly cost-effective EV chargers now directly available from Fox with direct integration to the app. So as soon as you add an EV charger to your installation, it's going to dynamically pop up on your app, and you're going to feel super special and super empowered. This basically is all underpinned by the FoxBot. The FoxBot is Fox's branching out into the smart inverter space. FoxBot at the moment, I'm just going to run through FoxBot. I forgot a point there. I'll come back to it in a second. So the FoxBot basically is a AI tool which you can basically start asking your inverter certain questions. At the moment, you can ask it how much power you're making and other related questions, the status of your inverter, etc., etc. But we need you guys to interact with it. The more that you talk with it, the more that it is going to basically be able to learn what we need and support us more going forward. So one of the things that hit our businesses like a sledgehammer is when load shedding is announced, instead of being able to phone new customers because business is booming, we end up chasing our tails with our legacy clients. And the legacy clients are phoning in and burdening us with, how do I do this? How do I set my battery? I've run out of battery, and so on and so forth. And that really can be quite overwhelming. Overwhelming for us as the solar installer, and overwhelming for our clients out there of how they do this. So I'm really, really pleased to see that we now support Eskom's push notifications direct to your phone. And what this will do is when load shedding is announced, it's going to ping you on your phone, let you know that load shedding is announced. You're going to run through and tell it where you are so it can get your area. And then it's going to set your inverter automatically into backup mode. If your batteries are on charge, bring them up to 100%. And through the entire load shedding period, it's going to keep your system in backup mode continuously. This is going to free up our clients as much as humanly possible. So what we've then got is when load shedding is suspended, it's going to do it in reverse. Send us a load shedding suspended notification, ask you what your reserve power limit that you'd like to set is, and bada bim, bada boom, bada bang, you're just going to go back to your clients automatically been set, so no burden to us as solar installers. Happy clients out there, and everyone goes back to money saving mode. So very excited about this, and we're just going to roll a quick video to give you a sneak peek of what you can now find built into your Fox Cloud version 2.
Outfox ESCOM with Fox ESS with a built-in AI module. Fox products use a powerful mode scheduler, advanced smart load control, and automatic load shedding notifications to stay one step ahead of blackouts. Paired with your solar generation and battery energy storage, you gain the power to break free from ESCOM's wheel of misfortune. It's time to take back control. Outfox ESCOM with Fox ESS and keep your energy flowing no matter what. Let's go, Fox.
So we've been talking about super beautiful inverters. Beautiful inverters that are incredibly powerful and incredibly smart. And now we're going to talk about how they are incredibly flexible. So many of us have installed all-in-one inverters throughout the years and been stuck by the limitations of the form factor. So I'm very grateful that Fox have designed the system not only to be beautiful, powerful, and smart, but also flexible. The Fox EVO can be installed in parallel up to 3 systems. Now I hear you guys saying, okay, well, I only want to get an extra battery, and why do I now need a whole inverter with that? And these systems do have their advantages, but often if we frame something in a different way, or we actually have a look at the client's needs, it's going to be really interesting is that when you buy a 10 kilowatt inverter and you buy one more battery, I often ask people, apart from more storage, what is it that you get? And the obvious answer is, well, nothing. You've got your fixed inverter, and now from 10 kilowatt hours, you have 20, or from 20 to 30 and 40 and so on. But when you parallel the Fox EVO, things change. What you now have is you add a second EVO, and what you've gone through is instead of 20 kilowatt peak backup power, maths is obvious, for 10 seconds, you now have 40 kilowatt peak backup power. When you add a third inverter, instead of having 40 kilowatt peak, we now have a staggering 60 kilowatt peak backup power available to our clients, which is roughly around 5 times stronger than you can get from the grid. You can just imagine 3 of these little beautiful inverters delivering 5 times the power of the grid. It's just mind-blowing to see how technology has moved from when I first filled my entire Wendy house full of batteries and I couldn't even run a single dishwasher. So the same is true. If you add a second inverter, we go from 3 MPPTs to 6 MPPTs. We can now start playing with solar on our garden fences, solar on our vertical sides of our home, solar on our cottages, our pool houses, our second dwellings if we're fortunate enough to have them in our garden. And so the possibilities are just incredible to be able to help our clients generate that much more power, be so much more independent, and not have to buy pesky ESCOM kilowatt hours during those peak times when they're going to hurt us the most. Obviously, if we go to 3, we now have 9 MPPTs paired with 60 kilowatt peak backup power and 30 kilowatt hours of next generation large-scale cylindrical format batteries. So just mind-blowing technology that we have available from Fox today. But should this not work for you and you need a traditional Fox 10.5 along with the EP range of batteries, not to worry, they are still in our warehouse and we continue to offer them as an alternate for where they potentially are a better fit. So in conclusion, what we've got is an incredible next evolution of solar from Fox. what we've been having a look at over the past few months here is I've been buying stuff my whole life, but I never had a look at the psychology, the reasons that I actually make a purchasing decision. And Fox have hit a home run on all three of the laws of economics that basically drive us to our purchasing decisions. So the first rule that drives us to make a purchase is what is called the law of maximum return. We want to spend as little as money as possible and get as much as possible. So what Fox have done for us here, by providing an incredibly cost-effective unit, they have basically allowed us to achieve the law of maximum return by combining a cost-effective, beautiful product with smart AI technology, which is basically going to increase our savings out of our system. So incredible stuff. Big tick there for hitting that one straight out of the park. The second one is the law of minimum effort. We all want to do, and I don't want to admit it, especially here in front of my team and my fellow employees, I want to do as little as possible to get as much as possible. This is called the law of minimum return. We will see it in everything that we do. If we want to go out into the parking lot, I won't walk around the whole lake behind me to get to my car. I go directly to it. And by providing a system that's so incredibly easy to install, Fox have hit the law of minimum effort on the nose. And from the client's perspective, the law of minimum effort from an app that's made for children because it's so simple, and an app that now delivers Fox Smart AI technology, it's just another home run for the law of minimum effort. But the last law of economics that we don't really want to talk about because we've been told it's bad is the law of vanity. None of us want to admit that we are vain. But great examples of it would I go into a car dealership and say, please give me your most cost-effective car that's the most functional, but also the most ugly. Typically, we go, hang on a second, we want the coolest looking car, and then we follow through with the other laws of economics. So each purchasing decision that we make, no matter what it is, whether it's a new pair of tackies, we won't do the same. We won't go into the shop and ask the shop assistant, bring me your most ugly pair of tackies. And Fox have done a home run here. They have created one of the most stunning, beautiful inverters that I can find anywhere on the planet today. They have created such a beautiful product that Bianca, I'm going to throw you under the bus here a little bit. When she first saw it, she thought it's so cool, and she asked the co-founder of Fox, can't you please change this cover to a mirror so that I can do my makeup in it in the morning? So just really, really incredible stuff. So what we have is not only the most beautiful inverter, the most powerful, but also the most smart. And with that, what I wanted to do is open up the floor to a couple of questions. There's a little text box on the side down at the bottom, and we're going to just have a look at that feed. And if there's any questions, please feel free to go ahead, in case you'll let me know if there is anything.
Is there a marketing video we can use and other marketing material?
Thank you. So what we've shared with you today is short snippets of the marketing material that we've received from Fox. So we currently have the how it's made video. It will be live on the website within the next hour. We have the smart AI video. It will be linked on the same page. And there is a third video of the actual speed of installation. And then we've got our first reference case where we have back orders for the system from Veldevi already at the moment through one of our gold installers. And we have a case study video of him talking about Veldevi at the moment and what they are going to be doing out there. All the traditional stuff being data sheets and NRS certification and things like that will also all be on the same page. Should you need anything in addition or extra help, we're going to pop Casey's email address up on the wall here afterwards, or speak to your customer success specialist and she will be able to help you.
Single phase or three phase, and can you set up 3 of these inverters into 3-phase mode?
So the Fox EVO which we're bringing it in 2 models, which I haven't mentioned during this talk. For the main barrier that we have is in areas where there's a maximum notified demand. We have a 6 in 10, and we have a 10 in 10. So should you run up against maximum notified demand, you can install 2 6s in parallel to basically give you 12 kilowatts to avoid that cutoff threshold with 20 kilowatt hours of battery. And the inverter is single phase only. It is only to be designed in single phase. So should you require a 3-phase system, we've got the H3 Smart from Fox. It's a 15 kilowatt 3-phase. And obviously, you're all probably aware of the Fox 30. So the system is not designed for genset integration. So from Fox, on the single phase side, we do not have genset integration. On the 3-phase side, it comes standard in the box. So on the H3, 15 kilowatt and the 30.
Are they micro-inverter compatible?
They are micro-inverter compatible. I'm actually using them in my own house. Well, I wanted to say big thank you to all of you guys for your incredible support. Thank you to Fox for developing the next evolution in solar power. So big thank you to our team here who have produced it. So thank you, Casey. Thank you, Claire. Thank you, Cherie. And let's go, Fox!